So, now I've come to the end of my show, and the viewer participation part. I'm going to pitch to you a couple ideas that I think might make for a really good Pokemon game. Now, for those of you that work at Nintendo that may be viewing this, I know you're not supposed to take unsolicited advice from strangers because it could be a copyright thing, but I swear to you, send an exec to my house. Send me some paperwork. I will fill it out and sign it, giving you the rights to whatever vomit comes out of my brain. I won't ask for a penny. I just want to play this game. So, for those of you watching that aren't from the corporate world and just want to see a good Pokemon game, here's some of my ideas. Instead of in the game when you have to pick 1 or 2 powers and you get the 4 powers that are super powerful but only have like 5 or 6 power points to them, you can only use once or twice and they miss most of the time, I think instead they should be a Diablo 2-like skill tree, where you start out with a couple of low-level powers and then work your way up, and you can put ranks into things. So there's some benefit to keeping Tackle around with me, a fairly basic move that I can level up, and then later on down the road there are more powerful moves that, a couple ranks in those is going to be huge, but I can still have my low-level powers with me to counterbalance the big ones out, so that once I run out of the big ones, I've got something useful to work with. Next, combat should be more like the game, and this was for the GameCube, so Nintendo, I know you got it, the game Gladius, where combat is turn-based, but the simple moves, like Tackle for instance, all you have to do is click to use, whereas more powerful things like Hyper Beam or Explosion, you might have to tap a button rapidly to charge up or hit a button at just the right time. Or for things like Close Combat, where there might be a chain of blows, you have to do a God of War type minigame where you press the buttons in succession, and if you fail, obviously you either miss or the move fails, and you waste that attempt. Again, making it so that if you've got the simple or lower level moves, it balances out the more powerful moves that you need some sort of actual skill to access. Next, things like trainer Pokemon bonuses, a little synergy or something going on, that rewards you for actually playing with certain Pokemon and finding some favorites instead of the usual catch the 496 Pokemon that are out there and don't enjoy any of them. Because I feel like, Pokemon are supposed to be better with the trainer, but a Clefairy still sucks compared to some other Pokemon. So I feel like if I wanted to start with a Clefairy and then use that for the rest of the game, and I wouldn't, I'd play with a Nidoking because that's my favorite. But if I wanted to play with something small like a Pikachu, obviously it wouldn't be as good as the better things, but it would at least be, better because I used it for the entire game, because I put skill points or connection bonuses, or I took feats or skills or talents or something that has connected me to it to reward me for building a relationship with these Pokemon instead of using it as something disposable. Next, the whole focus on the badges and Elite Four thing, I understand you're supposed to be the best trainer, but as I said earlier in my rant, these things should be very, very difficult to do. No matter which gym it is, no matter who it is in the Elite Four, they should all be extremely hard to beat, and they should all be very, very famous. This should be some big ordeal, not just, oh, I'm going to walk in, wipe the floor with you, and then walk right on out. So, I think what you should do is, you should take the focus away from the gym badges. I mean, leave them there, because obviously that needs to be done, but make the focus more about running errands for people, going out into the wild, catching some Pokemon, exploring the world, learning about the past, helping people make things, develop Pokeballs. Start us at the beginning and have us test out some of this technology so that we're not just running through some mindless motion and we actually get to enjoy the world that you've created.